I know evolution is the wrong word for there, but as it improves and expands, we are no longer accepting the idea of Satan. Like culturally, Satan was an accepted thing hundreds of years ago. It was parallel. Like if you looked at the mentions of Satan and the mentions of God, they were right up there together. You're blaming Satan on the bad things and you're praising God for the good things. That's no longer the case. Now we just cling to these absurd notions of this one that's watching us all the time, and you gotta sort of peripherally mention it and casually reference it without going into detail, and you're allowed to do that because it makes people think, well, you're on the same page as me. You're a God-fearing Christian man like myself. I'm a God-fearing Christian man myself as well. God bless you. God bless you as well. You know, but if you go, Satan is looking out for you. Satan is watching you right now. Satan is just letting the air out of your tires. Like, you go, well, that guy's a fucking idiot. You know, like, we've moved past Satan, but we haven't moved past God.
Exactly right.
Yeah. Or the idea of God. Even, I mean, if there is some all-knowing entity that is controlling everything and is filled with love and has a grand plan for the universe, they have yet to show themselves. So this is all just a concept and an idea with no basis in fact, and as we have found more facts about the nature of reality and the world itself, it seems more and more preposterous with every day. Every day the scientists come up with these new equations that show the way the universe could have possibly been formed, and every day that these fucking guys at the CERN laboratory, the Large Hadron Collider, are discovering these what were at one time theoretical particles, showing them to be true and their calculations to be correct. We have a deeper and deeper understanding of the universe. But we think now, we love to think that right now that we're filled with knowledge, and we love to look at ourselves now and look at the past as, well, they didn't know back then, but we know now. But if we looked in the past, they would have the same ideas. They would look back at those poor monkey people with the bananas, and they'd go, those fucking dummies, they didn't even know houses yet. We will one day look back at 2015 like, what a bunch of fools. What a bunch of ridiculous people that were still, they had this incredibly complicated society and this wonderful access to information, but yet they were still shackled down by ideology and killing each other over religion and ancient superstitions that dictated their behaviors. Like, what a weird time to be in. They'll look at. They'll look at us now in 2015. They'll say, "What a strange time! This adolescent period of enlightenment, where they're still they're still concentrating on stupid shit, and the fucking president of the United States can openly talk about God, and no one goes, "What is God? What are you saying? Like, what are you saying? Do you think Jesus came back from the dead? What do you think? Do you think someone walked on water? Do you believe in the literal translation? Are you an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy? Well, it's the New Testament. No, well, the New Testament was made by Constantine, who was a fucking Roman emperor who wasn't even Christian. He didn't even believe it. He became a Christian on his fucking deathbed. Like, that's when he became a Christian. Like, all these people that are, like, really into the New Testament. And, like, I'll talk about Old Testament shit, and people get mad at me on Twitter. They'll send me this fucking hate text. You understand, motherfucker, what the difference is between the Old Testament and the New Testament. Because the New Testament is utter horseshit. It's created by a bishop and a fucking emperor. That's a fact. That's, like, established religious fact. Like, everyone knows where it came from. And not only that, it was written hundreds of years after the death of Jesus. So what are you talking about? Because if you're talking about the old stuff, you got to go deep. Go to the Dead Sea Scrolls. Go to the most ridiculous aspects of that and tell me, you basing your life on that? Because that's even more preposterous. They found them in clay pots in Qumran, written on animal skins. These people thought the world was flat and the sun was 17 miles away. And we're gonna, they did. They really did. And we're gonna. This is how we're gonna live our lives. This is it. This is all the facts we need. Fuck the Large Hadron Collider. Fuck CERN, fuck Stephen Hawking, fuck quantum physics, fuck Neil deGrasse Tyson, fuck those dudes with their telescopes. No, we're gonna base it on leather skins and charcoal ink. Right. Like, really? That's the conversation we're having when we're talking about ideological religions.
That was a thing of beauty, by the way.
Well, thanks.
That was a thing of beauty.
what it is. I mean, and people think, well, you're an atheist, you're an asshole, what do you believe in? I had a guy yell at me at a comedy club once because I did this bit about Scientology. I did this bit about Scientology, about watching a Scientology documentary with my mom, who made me go to Catholic school, and how my mom thinks Scientology is ridiculous. I'm like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
And this guy is like, yo, what do you believe in? Well, what do you believe in? Like, what, do I have to believe in something?
Right.
Do I have to believe? I believe in everything that's been proven. I believe that this is made out of wood. And when I'm proven wrong...
Right. You change your mind.
Yeah,
but when you also think about it, what an unbelievable arrogance. To think that you know the will of the creator of the universe. You know what he wants you to do. You know where he wants you to put your genitals. I mean, like you said, in philosophy it's called the problem of induction, or looking at the past resembling the past. And we will look back. There's absolutely no question in my mind that you're correct. And we will say, wow, you believe this. How could we possibly have believed this? But what's interesting to me is we know that will happen. Like, we know that will happen. And it's an opportunity for us to reflect and say, wow, are we being arrogant right now? Are we thinking we know things? Are we pretending to know things when we don't know them? And I think that a lot of that God talk is a type of arrogance. I think it's a type of people, I don't know, wanting to assert how moral they are so they reap advantages, the president, or I mean, I think it's a very complicated social and even political problem, but it's also a type of arrogance.
It is definitely a type of arrogance, and it's also a way that people establish the moral high ground. Yeah. They establish a dominant social position over you. And people love to do that. They love to do that with their pious attitude. What they're doing is, by them accepting these religious tenets, they are somehow superior to you.